Well, hello there. I have a relatively new song to share with you today. The name of the song is Eber and Nan, and it might need a little bit of an introduction, so let me do that first. The Eber in the song is the pioneer in southeast Michigan, where I live now, named Eber White, who was born in the late 1700s, moved to Ann Arbor in the early part of the new century to raise a family. And he became, in the Civil War era, a primary person around these parts to shelter people through the Underground Railroad. So he was a hero for political reasons, at least in my view. Just as importantly, he left a huge tract of land to the city of Ann Arbor, which is still pristine and preserved today, named appropriately the Eber White Woods, which is literally about 200 yards from my house, and I walk there every day, or virtually every day, in all 4 seasons. It's a beautiful, wild area in the middle of a residential neighborhood. So that's who Eber is. Nan is Nan Shepherd, who was born about 100 years later in the late 1800s, and was a remarkable woman from what I've learned. I became exposed to her prose and poetry through her book, The Living Mountain, which I highly recommend if you are not familiar with it already. If you're a fan of John Muir or Thoreau or any excellent nature writer who felt nature as much as wrote about it, then you'll love this very brief but incredible book. I became aware of The Living Mountain and Nan Shepherd through a recording project called, appropriately, The Living Mountain. This is the LP version of it. It is by Jenny Sturgeon, who is a remarkably talented musician in Scotland. I believe she lives in Shetland currently. Amazing woman. I encourage you to learn as much as you can about her. And you could do worse than send her all of your money by buying her recordings. That's what I'm in the process of doing now. I did an inventory recently. I have about 10,000 recordings, and The Living Mountain is in the top 10 all time for me. So it's a remarkable recording. Anyway, Nan Shepherd lived outside the Cairngorms, and Jenny's from that area, roughly speaking, as well. And Nan Shepherd wrote this book, The Living Mountain, during World War II, but never published it, or didn't publish it, until another 30 years had gone by. It sat in a drawer, apparently. And then it was published in 1977. And you can and should order it today from your local bookstore. Again, if you have any interest in the passion for the outdoors that I do and many others do. So that's who Nan Shepherd is. So I have a debt to both of these people in different ways. So that's the introduction to the song Eber and Nan. So let's see how it goes. Like Frank Zappa once said, "Shut up and play your guitar." Try it in the key of E. He was born as the century drew to its end. John Adams was president, the nation's best friend. He moved to Ann Arbor, a family to tend. The woods still bear his name, and these woods I defend. Eber White, with your vision so bright, you look to the future and you left a birthright. Eber White, you bring me daily delight. Your woods hold me close in the day and the night. Now property values, they rise and they fall, enchanting the herd to the realtor's call. Each plot needs a home and each home needs a wall, but without wild woods, what's the point of it all? Eber White, with your vision so bright, you look to the future and you left a birthright. Eber White, you bring me daily delight. Your woods hold me close in the day and the night. Meanwhile, 100 years later, over in Scotland, she was born as her century drew to a close. Her king was George V, the historian knows. From the burns of the highlands, her passion it flows. She captured the wilderness in effortless prose. Nan Shepherd, our Joe, your love story we know. You planted a seed and a mountain did grow. Nan Shepherd, our Joe, how your passion did glow. You swam in the locks and you danced in the snow. She was the Grampian champion, fearless and wise. Learned to savor each journey, all the lows and the highs. From the break of the dawn to the misty moon's rise, she shared her living mountain, its airs and its skies. Nan Shepherd, our Joe, your love story we know. You planted a seed and a mountain did grow. Nan Shepherd, our Joe, how your passion did glow. You swam in the locks and you danced in the snow. Though Eber and Nan walked through life in different eras of history, they both feed our hearts and our souls as they share out their mystery. Eber and Nan, friend to woman and man, and to rocks, birds, and water, all of nature's lifespan. Hiking gentle glens or alluvial fan, their gifts are for the taking, the Creator's wild plan. Their gifts are for the taking, oh, the Creator's wild plan. Eber and Nan. Thanks, Jenny Sturgeon.